Good afternoon, good day to you, whatever it may be. Today we are going to be talking about Sargent 7-line lock, specifically the 7G05 LL26D. This one's always been a personal favorite of mine because it shines in applications where heavy duty is kind of overkill, but your standard, run-of-the-mill lock sets, they just don't cut it. What makes these nice is they have integrated springs on both the inside and outside, whereas some springs, or some locks, the springs are housed within the actual lock body itself. Aesthetically, looks exactly like a Sargent 10 line, except there are some very key differences. For one, with the 7 line, the lock bodies, the mounting screws actually go through the lock body, whereas with the 10 line, they have mounting posts up here at 12 and 6. Another big difference too is the latch bolt. Alright, what's kind of nice about Sargents and their latch bolts is the latch bolts tell the series. If you look right here, there's a 7, so that's an indication right off the bat that you're looking at a 7-line lock. Now, one thing that's kind of wonky about them has to do with when you turn the key. You notice you put the key in, you can only turn the key one way. 10 lines you can go both ways, but this one, the key will only turn up if the door's like this, or if the door's like this, it'll only turn down, it won't go up. So, like I said, one of the wonky things about it, but all in all, it's a great lock. On the inside, it's got several different springs in there for the latch bolt. On top of that, you also have springs that are mounted up here in the inside and outside mounting assemblies. So, let's tear it apart. I always use my trusted lock pick tool. Never fails to have a good paper clip around when you need one. And that piece just slides right off. The springs I was referring to, you can see them back there at an angle, but those are the springs I'm referring to. Most locks will actually have a series of 3 springs, one up here, one down here, and then another one in the center. And that a lot of knob locks, that's exactly what you have. So if your knob, doesn't work correctly in one direction but works right in the other, more than likely a spring's gone bad in the lock body itself. I don't know, I posted a video the other day of me taking the lock apart, and as you can see, this one's very similar design. You have a cotter pin that goes diagonally from there to there. So when taking them apart, lift that up and out of the way. And I should mention, taking all this apart voids any warranty, so I wouldn't go doing it unless the lock's toast or you're in a bind. And what's nice about this is, in order to take this part apart, you just slide it back, just like so, and that whole piece lifts off. You got to make sure you push in this latch bolt piece right here to free up the shaft where the thumb turn's located. You got to push it in all the way, and that whole piece lifts up like that. Alright, so on the inside of here, these are the 3 springs I was telling you about. You can kind of see them. You have one that's more conical in nature, and then you have 2 that are more cylindrical in nature. Let's see back there. Anyways, typically these parts go flying, so you got to be careful and show some delicacy when taking this all apart. And in order to extract that, you got to put it down, pivot at 90, and clip it into there. In order to take it apart, do the same thing, push it back, pivot up, and the whole piece should lift out. Alright, make sure to hold it together so this way when you go to put it back together, it's not in too many pieces. Alright, on the inside of here, very similar design. This piece lifts out, What's interesting is every time you're locking and unlocking this, you're actually just taking this piece and pushing it down into that notch right there. And that's the mechanical way of locking your door. Alright, so here you go, there's the cylinder, there's the case. What's nice too is now that you have all of that done, if you had an awl or something, you could stick it down in there and you can see a hole kind of down in there. Let's see if my camera can get it. But you can put it in there and then push that piece down, and that will actually allow you to pull the lever off, extracting the cylinder. Aha, I'm back. I needed a good trusty awl here to take this apart. Anyway, so like what I was saying is you put this down here in the shaft and there's a little hole that it can go into. Typically you can kind of pull down on it and you can actually pull the knob out just like that. So again, if you don't have the key for the cylinder, you can still easily extract the cylinder and get it out. Now I think what everyone's favorite part is putting it all back together. So let me get the cylinder straight here. Make sure that piece is attached right there. If not, your cylinder and key will just spin and spin and spin because it's not interacting with anything. In fact, this is what it interacts with right here. But, yeah, so that goes back into there. Put the retaining clip back into the lever. Put that in there. Make sure you got your thumb holding the cylinders when you push it forward. Alright, so hold all that. Turn that into there. Alright, so now we got the base. Alright, so put this piece back into there, just like so. These always go on the side going towards where the latch bolt will be, or away from the lever. Here. There we go. Alright, so just like that. That's what locks your handle. Anyway, so then that's back in there. And then we got this big boondoggle of springs and a latch retractor. Goes in here. Now one thing I feel I should mention when doing this, so you have to pay attention. You see how it's open right here? You have to visualize if your latch bolt's in the door, right here, you're going to have to slide this outside piece into it. In order to do so, this needs to be, the open side needs to go to the unlock side, and the closed side needs to go to the lock side. Now it's open. Alright. Moving on to the next piece. See how this side, there's a curve? That curve is there so you're able to slide the latch bolt through there. These notches actually kind of hook into this piece right there and right there. So the notches go towards me. Anyway, same idea. Push the latch bolt in like that. All locks back into place. Whenever doing these cotter pins, always insert this piece first. Like that. That piece onto there like that. is that simply slides onto there, turns into place. It's onto there. So as far as what else comes with the lock, you have a standard ASA strike, standard 2 3/4 inch guarded latch bolt, guarded because of this part. Prevents against the classic credit card trick of coming in and trying to swipe behind the credit card, or swap behind the latch bolt itself. So other than that, here's the Sargent 7 line. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.